Phonic and freaking McKinnon need to see the field a lot more.
Oh, they got rid of Madden and look where they're at now, huh? I guess that wasn't the problem.
The hitting instructors still have their job. That to me is the biggest question. Why do they still have their fucking job?
And all I want to say is,
it's the Todd Fox Post-Game Podcast with your host, Todd Fox.
Hey, welcome into another episode of Halos in the Infield, the Todd Fox Post-Game Show. Camera angle's a little different. Camera took a shit on me, so there you go. But we're going to start this show off a little bit different than we normally would. Obviously, tonight, the big news, I mean, you could talk about whatever trades, which we'll get into. We're going to talk very extensively. Not much about the game tonight, even though they won 3-1. But I'd be remiss if the inner baseball fan did not pay tribute and not realize the importance of one Vin Scully. Growing up a Dodger hater and, dealing with their stupid ass fans is one thing, but you put all that aside when you realize greatness, when you realize what a man he was, what he was to the game, what he was to your childhood. I listened to a lot of Dodger games growing up, watching a lot of them, and yes, he would tell stories, but he knew how ways to work them into a ball game. He felt like your grandfather, someone that you wanted to pay attention to, father figure. Was a tremendous talent. There will never, ever be anyone like him ever again. He did 60 some odd years with the Dodgers and their organization. He called NFL games. He did the Cowboys 49ers. That was his last football game, was Cowboys 49ers, the catch, Joe Montana to Dwight Clark in the back of the end zone, which started the 49ers franchise on to their winning streaks with all those Super Bowls. But he was iconic. Dodger fans loved him. Baseball fans loved him. And, rest in peace. Moment in silence here for Vin Scully. Thoughts and prayers go out to the family of Vin Scully and also the Dodger organization. With that being said, let's talk trades. Let's talk what happened today. Brandon Marsh, which is a guy I think will flourish with the Phillies because they have good hitting instructors. They don't have bullshit guys that just sit around that you see at the end of the game today with the Angels beating Oakland, having them just be happy with 3 runs on 7 hits. Be happy that Phil Gosselin scored in an RBI. David Fletcher, your little guys who could get hits, score runs, and your big guys do absolutely nothing once again. They're happy with that. But watch Brandon Marsh turn into Erstad 2.0, which I predicted he would here in Anaheim, but won't be here in Anaheim doing. He'll be doing that in Philly. And unfortunately, that's what's going to happen. He's paying the price of this organization. I think guys like him, Adele, and several other players missed being better and greater because they did not have the right instruction. A lot of people have had kickbacks to me saying, hey, you know what? That's not cool. These guys are professional, this, and that. But you're not giving them the tools to succeed. Going over scouting reports, you're not helping them tweak their swings when they get into bad habits. It works with any kind of job. Someone starts doing something bad, you want to correct them as a good manager, as a good supervisor. That's not happening with that didn't happen with Marsh. I think that's happened with Adele. I think a lot of guys have been lost in translation. You have Jared Walsh, another guy. So you had Marsh going early. Marsh goes for, I believe, a catcher, which, straight up. For the Phillies organization, he's a pretty good catcher. If you look at his top 100 prospects in all the baseball league, he's coming through Double-A. He's had 2 good seasons in Double-A. Likely he'll hit Triple-A here before the end of the season, and we'll see him in about maybe a year or so. But you can tell with the trade that they were trying to do, you're saying, well, how come they made the one trade straight up with Philly and then they wound up trading again with Noah Syndergaard later with, Philly? Because I bet you anything they were trying to go to Toronto first, because Toronto has a plethora of catchers. We've talked about this on the podcast. We've talked about this, on here in the post game. What it is you have basically a lot of players over there that the Angels wanted but couldn't get their hands on. I think Toronto's asking price was too much, or that they weren't going to give the players back in all actuality to the Angels. So the Angels missed on that boat, but they wound up sending Syndergaard back over to Philly. They get a couple outfielders. They get a prospect that could turn into something he couldn't. We don't know. There's another guy in there that when they brought him up, he's been considered a 4A. He's had 2 seasons coming up, but he's a young kid. The other guy that got the throw in, I think it's Yadiel or whatever, that guy is actually only 21 years old. He has more upside. He has more numbers compared to Marsh than the other guy that was a main player that's really a top prospect for him. So we have a couple iffy players coming back. Then the big shock, because we talked about Otani not being traded. That was the big story of the day because – and I'll get to Otani in a second, but real quick, they made a real surprise move in getting rid of Raciel Iglesias. Now, they cleared, with all the players traded today, about $59 million in cap space. The problem is with Raciel, he was your closer. You just signed him up for 4 years. Yes, he's had a down year, but how many save situations has he had? A closer like him can only pitch with a lead or, when you're up like 7 runs or something to get some work in. He got misused by Madden. He got misused by Nevin, gave up some home runs, got out of touch, got out of some good habits, went into bad habits, and he started pitching good again. And now Atlanta's stacked because now Atlanta has the Dodgers closer from last year. He could set up in the 8th inning, and then you throw Iglesias in the 9th. They've already re-upped on some guys. Atlanta's looking hot. But the big winner of the trade, I believe, the trade day today was about a tie. San Diego Padres and the Washington Nationals. Because the San Diego Padres basically gave you a blueprint of what Otani would have gotten us. And if you look at Washington, you're like, oh, man, Washington gave up on Josh Bell and Juan Soto. There's no way they were going to sign. You basically saved $400 million by not signing Soto back. Then you look at what they did as far as getting rid of Josh Bell. That one kind of hurts because Josh Bell for San Diego, it's a win-win. You get him with Machado. Tatis should be back in September. That's going to be a killer fucking lineup. And then Hosmer gave you nothing in the National League as far as home run hitting. He had doubles power, but that's about it. But this guy, Josh Bell, can do it all. And he's a stud and a very underrated player coming back on that trade. Everyone looks at Soto. They forget about Bell. Bell's an all-star, too. He was great in Pittsburgh. He's great in Washington. He'll be great in San Diego with that short perch in right field. Now, what the Washington Nationals, why do I say they're a winner? Because they got 6 proven players coming back. 6 guys who are ready to help the organization now. And they're good players that if Otani went, you could have got 7 or 8 because he's a two-way player. And you could have thrown in a couple guys to get the cat, you could have thrown in a Syndergaard or someone like that to help out the other team as well. But you could have got 7 guys back for this dude, Otani. Yes, a lot of Angel fans are, we don't want to lose Otani. I don't want to lose him either. But it's either this or that. It's either you're going to rebuild all the way and just say, fuck it, we're going to tear down and build back up, or you're going to say, hey, you know what? We're going to go all in. We're going to restock. This, to me, doesn't feel like a restock. This, to me, feels like for the Angels is a tremendous gamble, a gamble that this guy will want to sign back in the offseason. Because if he says, hey, if you can't get a deal done by the start of the next season, I'm going to shut it down. I've seen so many players do that, and they'll say, if you don't get a deal done by the time spring training comes, I'm all in for this year. I'm focused. I'm not going to talk contract. And you know what? You're shit out of luck. I'm hitting free agency first day of 2023 offseason. That's what can happen with Otani. Now, what the Nationals did is set themselves up nicely with 6 players who are under contract and under player and team control. They've got young talent that's ready to go. And the Nationals, yes, again, they have got a regime change coming. They saved a lot of money, and they've got good talent coming up through their minor league system. And then you add these players, I think they're well off than what they used to be. And the only albatross now that they have on that entire team, which might weigh them down, is the Steven Strasburg. Other than that, they've cut bait with just about everybody. They're going to restart, and that's a team that could compete in a couple of years. I feel very good in what Washington did, and I look at San Diego, and I feel great at what they did because now a wild card team does not mean that they are down and out. The Dodgers, who have this huge lead in the National League West, it doesn't matter because all you got to do is make the postseason, and look what the Padres can throw at you. Starting pitching, relief pitching, Josh Hader, all that killer lineup. This team can go on a run. Now the National League playoffs look very, very tough. You got the Atlanta Braves, the New York Mets, the LA Dodgers, the San Diego Padres. Those are the top 4, and that's not even counting the 2 teams that are going to come in, the St. Louis Cardinals and probably and the Milwaukee Brewers. So those are 6 solid teams in the National League. The National League postseason is going to be hella fun to watch. And then you look at the American League. The American League is going to be just as fun. Baltimore made a lot of trades today. You got 5 teams. All 5 teams in the AL West or AL East, I'm sorry, are all competing. Then you got a shit Central Division nobody really cares about. Twins are going to be one and done, or White Sox as well. Then you got the American League with the Houston Astros, who are a very good squad. They upgraded, getting Vasquez the other day, or Vasquez from the freaking Boston Red Sox. And they're going to have now, they filled the holes where they had them. And then you look at maybe the Mariners getting in or someone like that, and that's about it. So there's a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to be taking phone calls too later on. I'm going to get to all these comments here, and obviously we're going to talk about Vin Scully. If you have any memories or anything you want to pop up and say, then by all means, let's do it. Abraham says, light that baby up. By the way, the Angels won 3-1. Who gives a shit? It was a tough day to then rep the Angels today. Again, 3 runs, 7 hits in front of 12,000 fans tonight. Mate says, rest in peace, Vin Scully. Let's see. Cameron says, Fletcher, the GOAT tonight. He did have a good game. Feels good to be back. I'm back, everyone. Yes, it does feel good to be back, Mateo. Love to see you here. Matt Miles says, we won. May Vin Scully rest in peace. Abraham says, rest in peace, Vin Scully. Yvette says, believe it or not, yes. Fletcher's insane. Cameron says, rest in peace, Vin Scully, the best to ever play or broadcast. Fletchfax says, very important, David Fletcher. Cameron says, take Marsh out of the intro right now. Exactly. And by the way, I have something for you guys, and this is something that I'm going to put a video on. It's a little fuzzy, but it's the Brandon Marsh City Connect jersey. I got it brand new the other day. It's got all the emblems and everything on it. It's a 2XL. I'll be giving it away. Look for the video I'm going to post after the post-game show on how you could win it. It could be yours, and if you don't fit the 2X, give it to someone that does. Sell it for all I care. But there's going to be pretty much a game that you could win it. It's basically as many times as you can freaking tell people to follow us or mention us on another baseball page. We keep track of that, and the person that does it the most, we'll send you a free jersey courtesy of Halos in the Infield. Dylan says, rest in peace, Vin Scully. Vince also follows it up with the same thing. James says the same thing. Let's see. Also, wait, the Angels won. Juan says, rest in peace. Rick says as well, rest in peace, Vin, from Lewis. Let's see. Also, rest in peace, Vin, from Matt Miles. The only Dodger I love, Dylan says. And yes, it was a fan favorite growing up. I mean, you could not listen to baseball without hearing Vin Scully at some point. Leaf says, even though we don't like the Dodgers, we can all agree that Vin Scully was the absolute greatest broadcaster of all time. Rest in peace to a legend. I totally agree. We won. We fucking won. The Halo Realm says. Joey says, absolute legend. Oscar says, Vin Scully is the voice of baseball and a voice of the catch in football. May he rest in peace. Absolutely. We talked about that earlier. Mateo says, rest in peace. My mom loved his voice. He's so iconic. 60 years in. Gloria says, you're right. Vin Scully, Chick Hearn, Bob Miller. We're all blessed to have them in the LA market. So true, Anthony Gonzalez. So many great announcers have blessed us with this LA market / Anaheim / Southern California. It's been beautiful to listen to, whether you're a fan of their teams or not. Stupid trades. I miss Marsh. Vet says, I totally agree. Marsh will increase his batting average to 300 for the rest of the year. It wouldn't shock me one bit. Matt Miles says, lost Bill Russell the other day. Lost Vin Scully. They say they're in threes. Oh, don't call that one, Matt. Angels needed this win after all the trades. Well, I don't even think the win will give us any kind. I mean, it was over Oakland. Come on. We beat shitty teams. Yes, Lewis says. Also, Leaf says, was watching Urinating Trees stream of the trade deadline today. Dude burst into laughter when he found out when Merrifield got traded to the Blue Jays. Exactly. And if you haven't followed that, Whit Merrifield is not vaccinated, and Toronto has a strict mandatory rule against it. A lot of players If the Toronto Blue Jays get into the postseason, they're going to be having to make decisions. Matt says Logan O'Hoppe, and then Logan O'Hoppe is a guy that could be the catcher of the future of this team. We don't know, but he's got the skill set. I'm going to honk all night. We got the W, Martin says. I wouldn't be surprised if Adele asked for a trade in the offseason. I would be surprised if he's on the roster next year. Mateo says, what is Perry thinking of trading Iggy? That was a total – look, trading Iggy was such a salary dump, I can't explain. We get Jesse Chavez, who was here a couple years ago, 38 years old. Yes, he – has redefined his pitching. He's pitching a lot better, more confidence. He's got a sub 2 ERA, and we get another prospect back with a 6 ERA. Who won that trade? Well, obviously Iglesias is going to be a closer for them. They've got 2 closers at the back end of that rotation, and then you look at what they got with where we look what we got. That was a total salary dump. This is them trying to save up for next year's Otani run. That's what this is all about. The Angels pretty much are putting all their eggs in one fucking basket, and the basket is named Otani. Taylor Ward is most likely going. Taylor Ward can't hit shit right now. He talk about falling off, Nathan. I'm glad we ditched that bum, Jacob says. I have so much to say, calling in later. Okay, Abraham. We'll get to that really quick here, or not too long from now. Steve Lee says, I'm done with this team. And you know what? If you're put off by what the Angels did today, can I blame you? No. Can I say, hey, it's okay to be frustrated? Absolutely. This was something that was not expected, but you knew that they were going to trade off some guys. We just didn't think it was going to be Marsh. We didn't think it was Iglesias. I thought some lower tier guys were going to go. I thought we were going to try to cut some bait. And then the one that really pissed me off, you know what the one that really pissed me off? So this team needs hitting, and hitters like freaking Renifo, who's been hitting really good, David Fletcher, who's been hitting really good, guys like that in the lineup who you can count on. Guys like McKinnon and Stefanik are supposed to come through the ranks and play like the Baltimore Orioles players and show that they can hit and play consistently. When these young kids come up and they're tearing up in AAA and have nothing left to prove up there, we give them the first couple days to start, and yes, they're going to get their feet wet and they're going to hit some struggles. That's why you have to be patient with them. The Angels were not patient with Stefanik, not patient with McKinnon, and you mean to tell me the lineup they're sending out there and Squid and all these other bullshit players are better than these 2 kids that they're not giving a chance to? And they're coming up with clutch RBIs and doing pretty good in the infield. And you're saying, oh, well, defensively, they're not that good. McKinnon was doing his part. So was Stefanik, who you said, oh, his only weakness is his defense. He was doing pretty good. I didn't see any errors from him. And then what do? You start cutting their playing time, pinch hitting for him with Squid and other losers out there on the lineup. And then all of a sudden you send their asses down. What's that going to do for their confidence? Okay, so you can keep a guy up like Marsh, who had 117 strikeouts this year, but you're going to send up and down Adele 4 times? Send his ass down, Marsh, once at least. There's no consistency with this team. There's no plan. That's why I was talking about earlier. Either blow it up or restock. Do a Baltimore Orioles or a Pittsburgh Pirates, or do a Toronto Blue Jays or another losing team. Either you're all in or you're not. Don't be in the fucking middle, because the fucking middle doesn't get you anything. This isn't the NFL where you can rebuild in 2 years. It takes time. And unfortunately, this smells of shit, and the shit that comes from Artie Moreno, because I just have a feeling while everyone's slamming Perry, including myself, I still think that fucking Artie told him to do certain things. I don't think this was Artie saying, I'm going to better this team. I don't think this was Artie saying, I don't think this was Perry saying, I'm going to better this team. I'm going to change this team around. I'm going to change the culture. I don't think it was that. I think it was Artie saying, I need you to do this, I need you to do that, because either way you do it, we got to free up money for our big fish, because he doesn't look at Otani as a winner. He looks at Otani as, this guy can make me money, because this guy brings in TV revenue from all over the world. He brings in TV contracts higher than most teams, and he brings in merchandise, and I can have fucking 50 bobblehead nights if I want, and then we'll sell out the Big A every time he comes. Next time you go to an Angel game, watch when the Angels have their last at bat, and watch when Otani has his last at bat, and there's no chance for him to come up again, either because they're losing or winning by a lot. Watch the mass exodus of fans that leave that game because they know Otani is no longer in the lineup or even on the field. Watch, and that'll tell you why Moreno wants to keep him. and why he will pay over the top to get him. Re-signing Otani is key to the offseason. That's all they want right now. Let's see. Also, Steve Lee says today wasn't good for me. Hello all. Grillmaster says good game tonight. Don't let Quijada be the closer. Artie leaving is key. I would love him gone yesterday. Thought we should have gotten more for Iggy. Absolutely, Rob. We didn't because it was a salary dump. Atlanta. He basically called his old organization and said, "Hey, man, I'll do you a hookup if you do me a hookup. I need to shed some salary." And Atlanta's like, "Bro, we loved you here, Perry. We'll do you a solid. We'll take that dude and we'll ride him in the postseason. We'll take his contract. Thanks, bro. And then we'll send you 2 pieces of shit. How about that? That frees up your contract. You don't have to play. You pay a guy for the rest of the year, maybe $100,000 or so, and freaking Chavez is gone, and then you do whatever you want with a useless prospect who sucks." So in one actuality, you look at the Atlanta Braves, you're all, damn, win-win for us. For the Atlanta Braves, you look at what the Angels got, and you're like, man, we just sucked on a fat one for Artie because that's only in the plans for us to get Otani. That's all it was. All it was. Can we trade Otani in the offseason? Yes or no? Yes, we can, Oscar. But we will not get the pull that we would have got with Juan Soto and Josh Bell. No way. We might get 4 or 5 players, maybe, if we find a desperate enough team. Because the amount of time you're going to give for that team is only 1 year. You had 1.5 years plus a postseason if he went to a postseason team. If we re-sign Otani we broke abs or broke and right on the right budget, and we get good players is a key for the players. Well, actually, yeah, we need players that are going to fit money-wise and talent-wise. Artie doesn't know how to rebuild. Absolutely, Steve Elise. Artie needs to be gone ASAP. Caesar says, I agree. Padres still suck. Jacob says, watch them do really good. The world would rebuild the word rebuild is not in Artie's vocabulary. Grandmaster says, we need Disney back. Matt says, Hunter says they have the best lineup in baseball, meaning the Padres. Also, Hector says, this is the only team that Otani from ticket sales, that is, or kept Otani for ticket sales. Dylan says, yeah, they catch up to win the division. Sonia will be happy with the couple in a couple years. Yes, she will be, Grillmaster. Hunter, they can't be all Dodgers. Let's see. Do we put in the white towel? The white towel's been waived for some time. Dylan says, yeah, I'm calling in. We'll win the World Series. Artie saying dictionary. What's that? Padres look great on paper, but they're still like the Angels always have. It's hard for them to win. They always lose. We'll see what happens. This is there's no excuse this year, isn't there? Grillmaster says they also have Trey Mancini. That's true. That being the I think the Astros. 22,000 fans actually. Dylan says, I doubt that, but okay. Fabio says, I kind of like the trades we made today. It's really gonna make us be able to do some things in the offseason and get infielders and starters. We'll have to see. Let's see. It sucks about Vin Scully. What a true legend, and what a bummer he's gone. Absolutely. May he rest in peace. Mateo says, James. Then also, Todd, you're too close to the camera. Back up. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's the whole camera, the difference here. Parker says, I really don't expect Iglesias to, or I didn't expect Iglesias to go. I don't think any of us did. I'm not going to read that one. Todd, next game we go to, we got to go to a Milli Vanilli, or we got to go as Milli Vanilli. Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do. Ebony and Ivory as well. Let's see. Also, with Marsh Syndergaard and Iglesias gone, what does that mean for Shohei Otani? They're trying to save up money. That's all it is. We won, but it feels like we lost. Let's see. Fabio says also, do you think that the Padres can get to the World Series now? Will you cheer for them? I would. Look, they're down south, bro. I've met plenty of Padre fans that have pretty much said, hey, we like the Angels. They don't bother us. We'll root for them. They root for us. Whatever. It is what it is. But you know what? I rather go for obviously when the Padres get in the postseason, whoever's playing the Dodgers. We'll see what happens. But I do think they have a chance. You just got to get hot. Remember who won who won the last bet? That's right. The Rams won the Super Bowl. 67 years of service for Grillmaster for Vin Scully. The Dodgers will go farther than the Padres. Jacob's calling it right now. Let's see. Also, let's see. The Hunter's trying to bet with him right now. RIP to the iconic commentary legend, Vin Scully. He will be missed. Absolutely. I'll have one more thing to say about him when we finish up here. Royals won't be keeping wits about them. Jeez. Artie should ride the short bus. What's up, Todd? What's up, EQ? How you doing? Hopefully Logan can protect the teammates unlike Max. Exactly, Oscar. I have a feeling there is going to be a lot of changes next season. Absolutely, and I hope where there's the most changes is the fucking coaching staff. The only two coaches I would catch, and I'm not gonna or keep, and I'm not gonna. It's not a popular opinion of mine. But Matt Wise and the gray-haired coach that helped assist him in the pitching department, and also Benji Gill. Everyone to hell with him. Everyone else. If we traded Iggy, why did we not resign him in the first place? Or why did we resign him in the first place? Because they know how much money you're talking, dude, historic contract for Otani. That's the problem with baseball. There's no salary cap that's high, and there's no salary cap that's low that penalizes teams for not spending enough and overspending. It's just an imaginary line that you can cross, pay a little penalty, and keep going. So contracts will be so inflated for so long. It's going to take another strike to get baseball back to anything kind of, salary cap, or get to a salary cap that actually works for baseball teams. We'll talk about that some other time. Let's see. Rally Chris says, watch Adele wants a trade to the Phillies, too, to go with his buddy. I wouldn't be shocked with that. Joey says, it doesn't matter if we can't develop the prospects we get. Adele was number one in baseball, and look what he's done now. He's a joke because we never helped him out. We never fixed him. I think this organization let him down. Maybe he's not a power hitter like what everyone wanted him to be. Maybe he's a doubles hitter. Maybe he steals base. Maybe he's a Tim Anderson type player. But we'll never know that because we'll probably never get there because we probably ruined his head because he's so soft as far as like being able to become a player. Like mentally, it's not there for him. If Iglesias will be closing games for the Braves, what will happen to Kenley Jansen? He's going to be the setup guy for sure, but he is pretty good. 1988 World Series Gibson home run was a tribute call, absolutely. Why didn't they get rid of Adele, Velasquez, and Rendon? Rendon's hurt. We didn't bubble wrap him. Velasquez sucks. I don't think I don't think my softball league would take Velasquez at this point. Jansen should close. Raciel should be in the 8th. Nah, I disagree with that, James. I would like to see Jansen in the 8th. Raciel close. Either way, it's dangerous. I don't think we're going to be wrong on that. Dylan says, watch if we don't get Otani, and you'll see a lot of fans leave. Also, if we sign Otani, we'll be broke, and we won't be able to compete again. You're probably right. Again, that's going to be a historic contract. We're going to be looking at north of $400 million for Otani. I'm just saying it right now. Thor left us today on the same day. Yeah, we lost McKinnon. Why the fuck do you DFA a guy who's a contact hitter? That is so freaking stupid. So stupid. Let's see. If you are Trout, would you play again this season? The only thing I'm going to say about McKinnon real quick is maybe he said or did something to somebody, because there's no reason for him to get DFA'd otherwise. Watch the movie For the Love of the Game, classic Vin Scully. Artie needs to brain scan. Exactly. Rick says, let's get rid of Artie Moreno. I totally agree. I think Todd, his camera is too close to him. Well, again, my camera broke on the other one, so I have to use this one. Michael says, if it's time to declare the Angels a professional team, or is it time to take them away from them? I lost my faith in the Angels and will no longer have expectations. You know what? Can't blame you. Lem says their belief that this is a real ward made one of the Marsh Adele's expendable. I think we all would have pushed Adele before Marsh. When was it time to push Adele? Last year, not this year. I think he's having issues with today. No, yeah, the camera's down. Todd, do you think we will re-sign Otani? Look, right now they're going to make a strong push, but if you had to put it by me, I would say no. I would say they're going to lose out like on everything else, and we're going to see a mass exodus of fans once he goes. I think if the Angels are smart, they're going to, if they don't get a good vibe on him re-signing or getting a contract extension, I think for the most part, you got to trade him and trade him before the season starts. It would be stupid to do it at the deadline. Herget is a new closer. He could be Anthony Gonzalez. I like him a lot. Yes, exactly. You couldn't trade Otani because he's the only thing putting butts in the seats. Caden says everyone hates on Adele and they act like Brendan Marsh wasn't lost to the plate. I understand that he's good defensively, but he's not just another Brett Phillips, or he could be just another Brett Phillips. Yes, but I think though, Caden, they are losing sight of that. At the same time, if he had some coaching, this guy would be a hell of a lot better. But they let Marsh down, dude, so bad. Gloria says, what do you think about Trout? I think Trout is going to be a guy that unfortunately, he might only play 130 to 140 games, depending on if this back is going to act up to where he has to miss. I don't want him to be like that. I want him to be much stronger. I want him to get back to Troutness. But what can you do when you're not having the proper regimen? I mean, this team doesn't even take batting practice half the time. You need this team to take batting practice, and they haven't done it at all. Let's see, calls tonight. I got a story from last night in Wyoming. Okay, in a little bit, Beetlejuice says, now we are going to ask, or we're going to risk for the biscuit. We'll risk it for the biscuit for Otani. I hope he doesn't sign long-term with us. If he does, this will be already not going over the luxury tax for the next 9 to 10 years. We've already put in a very bad decade of baseball. Why would we add to it? Well, that's why and how. Because you don't want – look, for that $400 million, I bet you I can bring back a haul like some of these teams have, like the Nationals did this year or in the trade deadline. We still got an agreement to sacrifice Grillmaster in the showers with Artie, right? I think so. 22,000 paid tickets tonight, but not actually butts in the seats, James wants to clarify. Let's see. Also about Dylan says, how is it a salary dump when the prospects aren't worth much, right? Exactly, because you're giving about $50 million over to the Braves, and they're giving you about $200,000 worth of contracts. I think you win when it comes to money right there. Padre fans are great. I think James is being sarcastic. Rest in peace, Vin. I guess the Angels' stupidity today was too much for him as well, Josh says. Over on YouTube, Vladdy says, Angels are still trash. Hope Otani leaves after the season. Thank you so much for those kind words. Also, Hi, my name says, honestly, feel that Otani is going to walk regardless how much money they throw at him. He might do a Juan Soto, and you should have gauged that this year. Try to Juan Soto contract before you start dumping players, and that way you find out if he's going to stay or not. The Nationals were smart. They were like, hey, let's try to see if he's going to re-sign. If he doesn't re-sign, then guess what? We go to Plan B, and I think their Plan B worked, right? I think we can all agree that they had a pretty goddamn good Plan B. Todd, how do you feel about the Seahawks trading for Jimmy G? I'm all for it, but I think they're not going to trade for him because they're not going to trade in division. What's going to happen is the Niners are going to get pushed to the brink, and they got to cut bait with salary, and he's going to get cut. Now, if the Seahawks make a play on him, that's the other thing. If they don't, they're the dumbest team in history. They want to lose. They're going to win only 4 games. They get Jimmy G, they win 9 or 10 maybe. Let's see. Greg says, no way Otani stays in this shit team. He's going to go to another team. Walt Disney traded, let's see, Jimmy G got traded. No, he didn't. Let's see. Also, Otani and Trout will be gone. Let's see. Josh Autry saying, hi to everybody. Watch March thrive in Philly. He will. Gloria, I told you what about Trout. I can see it happening right there. James says the Yankees picked up Wade. I bet someone would pick up Squid. That is true. Let's see. That will be our be back to next season. Let's see your luck at $400 million for one player. I think it's going to happen though. Does Trout walk in the offseason? No, he's not going anywhere. He's so happy to be here. I'm telling you, collecting that paycheck is really good for Trout. Let's see. Also, does Trout play again this season? I think he does, but it's going to be meaningless games, of course. Let's see. Abraham says, don't get me started about DFAing McKinnon today. Also, Rally Chris says McKinnon probably was yelling at some of the players and got traded, or that got traded, and then he got DFA'd. It's Spiders says, hi, how you doing, Spiders? Also, Mountain Dew King says, Philly will probably get Marsh to check his swing. Exactly. He's going to do really, really good. And are you letting people call into the show tonight? Yes, I will. I think 2002 Angels could beat the current team, even as old as they are right now. I could see Percival striking out about 10 guys. Let's see. Also, I was surprised that Nelson Cruz was not traded from Washington. That is true. I thought he could have been a good at bat on one of these teams. I heard a TikTok now that Tim Tebow to the Seahawks. Ha, ha, ha. No, it's not going to happen. Also, Shohei Otani going to stay with the Angels. Maybe, maybe not. Also, what is what is Perry setting up for something, knowing, or why do you think he's setting up for something big, basically, is what EQ says. I think he might be. And we'll have to see, but hey, who knows? Nate says the great buttercup of 2022. Exactly. This was a huge buttercup. The number to call in is 714-598-3221. If you want to call in, we're going to start taking phone calls here on the show. 714-598-3221. I want to know what you guys think about all those trades and what happened today. Also, Fletcher should become a two-way player. Here's the first phone call. You're on the Halo Honk line.
Hey, Todd, how you doing?
What's up? Is this Rob?
This is Abraham.
Oh, Abraham. What's up, Abraham? Sorry, man. You sound a lot like Rob. Go ahead, man. Let me hear your thoughts on these trades, man.
Okay, so first of all, I can understand Marsh leaving. Like, I understand. Like, I'm honestly hoping this guy gets hot in these next couple of months. Like, he shows, like, this is an eye-opener to all these Angels fans out here saying, okay, yeah, he has the gloves, but can he hit? If he's going to be able to hit with the Phillies, because they're going to coach him, they're going to be patient with him, unlike when he was down here with the Angels.
Oh, I agree. He had no help here by any of the coaches. We all know Sereno, and we all know freaking Jeremy Reed. They don't give a shit. And then we don't have any batting practice. So he's already got the best of both worlds in Philly.
Yeah, and then, like, I understand, like, I didn't understand, like, why you decide to, like, not, like, you keep Squid on this fucking lineup. And it's like, how are you going to DFA? Like, when I saw McKinnon get DFA'd, I cannot laugh more than I could have, because you were going to send a guy who showed you so early on that he can hit. He's a contact hitter. He's a clutch hitter. And you're going to DFA the guy? Like, and you're going to keep Squid. Like, when I heard Patrick say, oh, he's got an amazing glove, well, does he have an amazing bat? You can't hit less than a little leaguer and be complimented on your glove. Like, that just doesn't make sense.
Exactly. I mean, there's no use for him on this team already. We've already seen the best of Squid, and that's it. I mean, again, we're taking at bats away from youngsters who can actually impact this team, and that's the most frustrating thing of all.
And it is. It really is. And, like, also with more on the trades, like, I honestly got caught off surprise when Rafael got traded. But I can also see that, like how you were saying, that it's honestly all going to be for, like, basically just revenue for the Angels next year for Artie, because he knows, okay, let's get rid of a closer. Like, oh, okay, people are going to be like, okay, he sucks. But, like, you got to realize, this man has been riding the bench all season because he hasn't had one single chance to come out there. And then when he does, he seems rusty. Why? Because these angels out here can't give him a lead to get out there and show him what he did basically last year.
Absolutely. You're talking about a month of July, Abraham, where this team average was 194. Runners in scoring position, 134. They had, I think, only 5 or 6 wins. And they it was a batting average 194. There's one other stat. Oh, they averaged 1.5 runs a game. You can't win with that.
And then people are going to say, like, oh, okay, Rafael's not playing well because, he already got his money. But also, he showed early on, especially with the brawl, that he's not here for the money. He likes this. He likes this team. He wants to have these guys back. But how are you going to have his back if you're not going to keep a lead or have a lead for him come, like, 8th or 9th inning?
Yeah, exactly. Good call, man. I mean, you sound just like every other Angel fan that's like super frustrated right now because, in fact, you only get 2 players back. You get the catcher from Philly, and you get the outfielder Hadiel from Philly. 2 guys that I think are going to make an impact up on the lineup. The other prospect I'm not too sure about. The other players are just a throw-in. That's it.
Yeah, and I honestly hope those guys, like, if they get sent to, like, AAA, I really hope those guys show, like, there's potential in them. Like, I hope they don't do what they did to, like, Marsh or, like, just keep sending them up and down and up and down. Like Stephonic too, he never really got a shot. He got his foot in the water, but like, what best is that going to help if you're going to also DFA like David McKinnon?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. I mean, I know you have a logjam at first base, but you could play him at third. They did it before, so I don't get it.
Yeah.
And besides, it's not like Walsh is tearing the cover off the fucking ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He keeps striking out at left and right.
Yeah,
So.
and he does. And like even today, when he almost got on base, it was barely like off of a blooper. That was off of a mistake. Like.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, go ahead.
I'm just excited. I'm just hoping to see that these guys that we picked up have a huge impact for us this coming up season, or at least hopefully next year too.
Absolutely. I mean, already we helped our catcher out. I mean, he already went from to the number one prospect in our organization just like that on the trade. So that should tell you how bad our freaking minor league system is.
Yeah, really.
Exactly. All right, Abraham, have a good night, man. Or I'll talk to you down here. All right, brother. All right, that was Abraham right now. If you want to call in, again, the number is 714-598-3221. Talk shit about Trout, but when we'll cry over Martian and Iglesias in 2 years haven't done anything to close, what about Trout? Randy's reminding us right there. Matt Badingo says, if you had to pick one, what would you be? Exit Otani or extend Otani, or build around the team and build up the team and extend Otani? I would really do what Washington did. I would have wanted to trade Otani and get the max for him, but if you're going to build with Otani, you got to build around him. You're on the Halo Honk line. Hello? You're on the Halo Honk line.
This is Caden.
This is who?
Caden.
Caden?
Caden.
Cameron?
Yeah.
All right. What's up, Cameron? How you doing? Hello? Cameron? Are you related to Hunter? Do you have anything to say? Okay, maybe not.
Is this my cousin?
Is this who?
Is this Jordan?
No.
Oh, sorry, wrong number.
Okay. All right. That was interesting. All right. Sean says Dansby Swanson and Jock Peterson will be future Angels. Next year, Ron Washington will be a manager. Book it. That's very interesting, Sean. I would take Ron Washington. He's turned into a hell of a coach after his controversy. And he was a hell of a coach before that. He really keeps players together, teams together. So I forget which bench coach he's for right now, or which bench he's on, but he's doing a really good job. And I like Dansby Swanson a lot. Jock Peterson, I wanted to be an Angel 2 years ago. Thank you, Artie Moreno. Wham about the where's my closer, Randy says. I know who you're throwing that at. Let's see. I don't want any player that costs over $400 million. It's the Halo Honk line.
Hi, I'm calling from Wyoming.
Are you drunk on Mountain Dew tonight, mister?
No, but I got a story from my uncle's party last night.
Well, make it fast, my little home of the cheesecakes.
Okay, so last night I went to my uncle's family's house, and then I got there, and then I met some kids who were my age, and there was one girl who was my age, who's 14, and she's going to high school, and she's a freshman.
Okay, am I going to get in trouble with this story?
Okay. So let me keep going. It gets better. All right. So I have one Mountain Dew, and then we want to go like off-roading, and then we went off-roading, and then we took a razor out, And then we were on the razor, and we flipped the razor, and then we all got mad and we're like, don't tell the parents. And so we didn't tell the parents that night. And then I just had to go home, and I gave him my snap to see if we were going to get in trouble today. And so the parents asked me today, like, so how was the razor run last night? And they're like, I'm like, oh, it was good. And they were like, oh, did you flip it? And they're like, and I'm like, yeah, we flipped it. The driver flipped it. And they're like, well, you guys might have got us in trouble. And so yeah, we messed it up pretty bad, and now they're pretty mad at my friend, and he's in trouble. And so, yeah.
Okay. But I just want to know one thing before I let you go. Did you get her number? Yeah. Are you going to meet up with her? Did you kiss her?
Dude, I got her snap, or I gave her my snap, and I might meet up with her tomorrow, and if she's hanging out with her friend, and yeah.
All right. That's all I need to know.
So.
All right, Big Hammer.
No, I might hang out with her tomorrow and see what happens. And make party with her this weekend.
Cool. All right, man. We'll hammer it out. Well, not literally.
No, I had way more than one Mountain Dew can. I had like a bunch.
All right, brother. Have a good day, man.
So and I'm in Wyoming at the gas time. Yeah.
There you go, Wyoming Big Hammer. So if you got through that, more kudos to you. Can't win with defense if you can't score, Joey says. Let's see also, I'm not frustrated, y'all. Just showed none of, can't handle the rebuild, Randy says. Jacob says that's no longer the player that he used to be, Randy Rossiel, meaning McKinnon is the future. Trade Walsh, Grillmaster, too late for that. Also told told a load of Iggy when he saw him wasting his money throwing those pitches or the $51 seeds. Or no, the dollar seeds into the field. That's about the most we got from him. Rebuild, tear it down, trade everyone, then see what happens. You'll cry like a girl. Yeah, rebuilds are hard to get through, but when the team actually does, you have homegrown talent and pride in the team that you have. Jacob says, I hope he proves me wrong and stays healthy all year next season and turns into an MVP candidate, meaning Trout. The Double-A team is better than this team, Dylan says. Ditch Trout, keep Shohei. EQ says, fuck you and Randy, I love you. Let's see. Jacob says Hunter. I like Logan O'Hop. Mickey Montiak is Yadiel Sanchez, Tucker Davidson, and Jesse Chavez. I have question marks. Yadiel Sanchez is good. Mickey Moniak is struggled, though. Trade Otani to keep the struggling players, huh? Let's see. Also, the reason why the minor league teams are good is because they have, like how you're supposed to be or you're supposed to be in baseball. Oh, Hunter's playing around, Jacob says. All right. I was like, who the hell? I mean, I thought we were talking to a 3-year-old. Epps says, would you trade Otani to the Dodgers? Epps, I would have. I hate to say that. But you give me 5 players back like Rios at third. You give me Will Smith, your catcher, although they wouldn't, but I would demand it. I would ask for Lux. I would ask for Urinal Cake Urias, and I would ask for Dustin May. You give me those 5 players, I can't say no. I'm just telling you right there. That would fit all the needs that we need. Todd got punked, Courtney says. Might as well. Julie says, I agree. Build around Otani. I want your hat. Thank you, Julie. I thought, Wash would be coaching in Atlanta. Or I think he is with the Bravos. Abraham says, I say Squid to sign him to a lifetime deal. Oh, my God. Jim Leland for manager. Let's see. I think he's got a bench coach with the Nationals. I think he was. Cheesecakes right here. Everyone's snoring on the phone call. This guy took a double Norcos to calm his anxiety. Oh, the Norcos. Yeah, exactly. Usually he's all over the place. I have to imagine there is no surfing waves in Wyoming. Exactly. So anyone still want to tear it down and rebuild? Yes, I do, Randy. Sean says Ron Washington is the third base coach for the Braves, where Perry worked at last year. You know what, Sean? And again, I think he's going to use his Atlanta ties to really redo this team. Was Hunter teasing Todd Fox? Yes, he did. He got on me with Caden and Cameron right there. Let's see. Also, Berlin Wall, this team. You guys are laughing it up. This guy last season, Mountain Dew with a 12-pack. DFA hammer, exactly. What the cock? Yeah, you guys had to suffer through it. I'm really sorry. Also, tell him this is baseball, exactly. Here's another phone call. It's the Halo Honk line.
Hey, first time, long time.
It's James! James! What's going on, man?
What's poppin', everybody? Obviously a tough day both ways. You know, I was at the job, double shift. I kept seeing all these notifications and all these trades go down, and to me it feels like, hey, let's burn it all down and start over. I really wanted to see, like you mentioned, Otani get traded, and sort of like the Soto deal, simply start over, get younger. Our farm system only went from 28 ranked to 23rd after today's trade. That means there's plenty far to go to being where we were a couple decades ago. If you recall, we had one of the best farm systems, one of the best organizations in MLB, you know, in that time. And I really want to get back to that point where, hey, we are, you know, good in the farm, but good at the pro level too. And I don't think that'll ever happen again, honestly, because as you mentioned earlier in the show, we're just in the middle, and it's starting to creep down to the absolute bottom. It's just, it's horrible. I know they won tonight, and the reason I said that in the comments, that was good to win, because I say, hey, for those players that are there that had to go through their teammates leaving the locker room today and wondering who will be next, you know, how those trades can go, you know, it could be one of them gone next. And, you know, it's one of those tough times as a player, trade deadline time. And it was good for them. It was good to get the win. I know it was against Oakland, but whenever you play against Oakland, they seem to always have, you know, the Angels' number. So it's a good start off to the series, I guess.
I agree, James, but you got to look at it this way, man. Like, looking for next year. Now it looks like we're going to keep Otani. And you have him as one of your best starters. You have Sandoval, Suarez, stuff like that, players like that. You got all these youngsters coming through. I have faith in Perry signing another starter or two, keeping Lorenzen, and having a stacked rotation. I even see him going out and getting a closer. The big thing for me is, how is he going to rebuild this lineup? What's he going to do to add a catcher? What's he going to do to add players that make contact? Who are the coaches going to be? So I think already there's a ton of questions. There's a ton of pressure. And let me ask you this, James. Is Perry on the hot seat?
I think after next season he would be for 2024, because he fired Joe Madden. He's going to bring in his own guy. He's going to bring in his own philosophy. And you have to see if it works with one more year of Otani of control of Shohei here. And then you have to say, okay, if Otani doesn't re-sign, okay, Perry's going to have to come up with something else. And there's going to have to be more questions answered. And then probably after that, like 2025, 2026, you know, if there's no sign of progress, or any progression whatsoever, then you explore firing him and then start all over, literally. We've been through so many regimes, like you mentioned earlier today on the Great Deadline show, that I caught the last of it, but that was a great job by Catella, Swilly, Fernando, you. I'm trying to remember if anybody else joined in, but great program. Hopefully everybody watches that back on YouTube and see the trades as they happen. You know, it was all late with Rafael.
Yeah.
Really quick about Rafael, you know, after April, it just seemed like he lost his stuff. And we always knew, hey, he can't come in when it's a tied game. He can't come in when they're trailing. He can only do well when it's a safe situation. And someone like that with that mindset is someone you really don't need. You need someone who has the same mindset every time to just get the inning over, just get the outs needed. And unfortunately, he wasn't that guy. I heard the Braves, I think they're going to pay for the rest of his contract anyway. Mm-hmm. So there's money off the books there for next season, for Upton next season. That money's gone. So was there like $50 million, I think, to spend next year? I can't remember that figure.
Well, there's $59 million added on to whatever they had under the cap.
$59 million.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, probably like 70, 80.
Probably.
Anyway, just want to end it real quick. Literally, my hero growing up, along with Chick Hearn and Dick Enberg, Marv Albert, all those guys that I grew up with and I would listen to all the time. Losing Vin today, that's something I really didn't need after a horrible day at work, horrible day with the Angels organization. I'm like heartbroken, honestly. And I always knew the day would come. I mean, he was 94, and you didn't hear from him after a while on Twitter, and you thought, well, man, I hope he's okay, and I hope he's visiting, his grandkids come visit and all that. And it's just, it feels so sudden, but you knew, time ends, like for everyone. Mm-hmm. And I was just lucky to catch him, whenever in LA, listening to games, watching games, and then whenever I could when I moved, I made sure I had MLB.TV, and I was able to listen and watch him, until he retired. And ever since then, there's been a loss deeply with games. So I always keep him near dear in my heart, and it sucks when one of your heroes pass away. It just really does. And he was mine, along with Chick Hearn, Dick Enberg, Walter Payton for sure. But it's just a sad night for sure. But hey, thanks for letting me call in, and see you next time, Todd.
You got it, brother. Well, I could hear it in his voice right there. James' voice is cracking right there. Vin Scully, again, legend. The one thing you can be happy about is that you were able to listen to him, that you have memories of him, that he was your grandfather when you didn't have one. He was your father when you didn't have one. He was, whether you're a Dodger fan or not, he was an ambassador to the game. If you didn't like him, there's something wrong with you. I mean, he was just a great guy. Sometimes I didn't really like his storytelling sometimes, but hey, I'm a traditional guy. But the thing is, sometimes he would bring the game to life in ways that you never heard it from anybody else. So you had that trade-off even if you weren't 100% in. The fact of the matter is, the man lived a long life. As he mentioned, James said, 94 years old. You can't beat that. And again, he will be missed, but you can be happy for the fact that he spent so many times in your ears through the radio or watching him on television on Sunday mornings during the week. And, he was just an overall great guy to the game. I mean, there's no blemish on him as far as publicly, and that's what you want from your heroes. And he was a hero and a legend, that's for sure. Angel Grandma says, doesn't look like my Angels will be in the playoffs anytime soon. Only true fans can sit through a rebuild and come out as still fans, Randy says. I agree. Mountain Dew King saying how he's in Wyoming right now. Randy says, trade Otani, but we're mad over today. Imagine if we would have traded Otani. Let's see. I am in Wyoming. Yeah, we know you're not Wyoming. I'm really confused about this fan base. I think we all are. Behind a boat, surfing in the lake, Mountain Dew King says. Let's see. Jacob says, get a PJ. What do you think about bringing in Joe Girardi? I think not. I don't think that's a good fit, Badingo. I think the game passed him by. I'm guessing Thor is sending electric bikes to Artie so he can hide them in Angel Stadium. I think we need to do a bike ride down Catella. What's the number? Courtney Ann says it's 714-598-3221 if to call in right there. The team needs a lockdown from the league. It's very contagious of no hitting. I'm right there with you. Let's see, everyone agreeing with James right here. Why are we bringing another reject coach in? We've had 4, now 3 in a row. It's the Halo Honk line.
Is this Todd Lodge?
This is Todd Lodge, yes.
It's Dylan.
Who's this?
Dylan?
Oh, what's up, Dylan? How's it going, man?
It's going, man. It's going.
It's going as good as it can, right?
Yeah, it's a crazy day for baseball. Outside and inside the baseball world, really.
Absolutely.
Just like, yeah, like we won today, but I'm like, wow. Didn't feel like we won because, we got fleeced, and then we fleeced someone maybe. Who knows? We expect it in next 3 years or 2 years. Then we see if we fleeced anyone. But, because, prospects, we don't know. Anyway, on Vin Scully, like I said, I'm a diehard Angel fan. I never liked Dodgers. But the only people I really respected and loved, like, oh my gosh, this guy's a walking history of baseball. Because he talked and seen and announced and broadcast everything of baseball in the 20th century all the way to the 21st century. Actually, Vin Scully, I was like, dude, he technically brought and did the broadcasting in radio for Jackie Robinson's career. If you think about it, because when the timeline of when he was the Brooklyn Dodgers, so it was just like the whole history of that. It's like, oh my gosh, and all the other teams, and they face the Dodgers, and definitely he probably talked about Hank Aaron and all those great legends, and those immortals pretty much. And it's like, gosh, man, I never had the pleasure of meeting him, but I know my mom loved him. His voice is just like the most soothing thing you can ever hear. Like if everything's gonna be okay, I want to hear him. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, I mean, look at Vin Scully, a guy like in the Yankees organization who was the PA announcer. He was iconic for calling. He announced Babe Ruth when he was younger. That's one thing to be around all that time. Derek Jeter used his voice after he passed away to all the way till he retired because he wanted to hear that the broadcaster at Yankee Stadium call his name. That's great. He did for what he did, but what Vin Scully did is uncomparable to anybody else. Like you said, been around for Jackie Robinson and before, called all those World Series, called NFL games through the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and then also did the national broadcast.
He's a 49ers fan. Sorry, Todd, but 49ers were the shit, man, during the 80s. Everyone knew that. Crap, no, damn it. Don't crucify me on football history. My dad would probably be mad at me right now. What's the quarterback? Gosh dang it.
It was Montana. He did the catch
Joe
call.
Montana. Damn it. I knew it was something with an M. I knew it was something. Montana. Anyway, yeah, it was Montana and Young and all those guys. And he probably definitely called all those games or Super Bowl ring championships and. Yeah, I heard about that.
I think he called more World Series than anybody, not only with the Dodgers, but he did the national broadcast too for either. I forget who had the baseball contracts back then. It might have been NBC or CBS, but he called those national World Series games when the Dodgers were out of it too. So he's been in many homes. He's not an LA market guy. He's a worldwide guy. And again, the baseball world will be paying tribute for some time to Vin Scully.
I think he's in the Hall of Fame already. He's been in the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, broadcasting Hall of Fame, television
I think.
What?
Yeah, baseball and other Hall of Fame or whatever. I think he was the quickest too. I think right after he retired of actually broadcasting for everything or anything baseball related, he got inducted because they knew we can't wait this long. We don't know. We just did it. They just like. I'm like, okay, then that's well deserved. That's well deserved. That's many years for not just broadcasting, but like just helping the game of baseball. And
oh yeah,
I just always some people get confused. Only players and coaches, the people actually on the field get Hall of Fame being inducted. But like, no, that's on the contrary. But
absolutely true legend.
Oh yeah. Even I don't like that saying that it's Dodger time for Dodger baseball. I just think like, oh, when he says it, it's kind of like, but whatever. It's cool. It's cool when because that was his team also. Oh, one quick fact, and people don't know about, just any baseball history. He was a childhood fan for the New York Giants, not the football team. Back then, when the Giants were in New York back then, when the Brooklyn and New York Giants were playing each other way back then. He was a childhood, that was his team. Surprisingly or not. That's crazy. Like,
isn't that ironic that he wound up being a Dodger fan and a Dodger legend? So, yeah.
It's like, oh, man. I bet when they announced, his passing, because I think the Dodgers and the Giants did play tonight in Oracle Field or in San Francisco, and they probably said something, hey, news of Vin Scully passing, probably moment of silence. I bet a lot of people were struck. Even Giants fans probably like, we don't like the Dodgers, but we respect the shit out of them, 100%. But anyway.
Well, real quick, I'll just say they had a lot of crying at Dodger Stadium when he was there. I think they were honoring Vin Scully a couple years back. It was Vin Scully Day or something. And there was a lot of fans there that were crying, and he's alive. So I imagine when they do it, I know the Dodgers are a classy organization. I hate to say it, but they are. And they're going to do something really, really special for him, and the fans deserve it, and his family deserves it, and I think they're going to do him right. And, it's going to be a very emotional day for the Dodgers, and I think for once in my lifetime, I will be not an honorary Dodger fan, but I'll stand by them. Because Vin Scully is that big of a legend. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to be like, oh, go Dodgers, but I'm definitely going to be like, hey man, I feel for you guys. So
the only L, I'm going to give a total this to the Dodgers thing. Your replacement for the broadcasting team sucked ass. Sorry, I feel bad for that broadcasting who replaced Vin Scully. I think.
Listen.
He's trash.
All I'm going to say, Dylan, and I think I could speak for Dodger fans. The only person that could replace Vin Scully and do a better job at it is Jesus. That's it. I don't think there's any other. I don't think there's any other replacement that's going to do better than Jesus.
Let's end on a good note.
Yeah, exactly. All right, man. Take it easy. Yeah, and I don't think Jesus is a free agent right now to call Dodger games. Call me crazy. Julie says, why break it down and have the best two players in baseball? We had them the last 2 years. Let's build around them. Because it's getting older, and we could get a real good haul for both of them. Oh, here comes the Halo honk line.
Please don't call it that.
Courtney, how you doing, girl?
I'm doing okay. Please don't call it that.
That didn't get you excited when I called the Halo honk line?
Absolutely not. My pussy dried up as soon as you said it.
I didn't say it, so you're good. I can't be taken off the air.
I'm so sorry for any children that listen to this.
That's okay. Hunter's probably to bed by now. But you're good.
Oh, thank Christ. Oh, my God.
So, thoughts?
What kind of thoughts?
On everything
well,
or anything.
First of all, our trades were complete ass. This was the worst move we could have ever possibly done if we imploded ourselves. I don't believe in picking prospects. I don't believe that works with us in our farm system because our development between coaching, development as a whole, all of it, like what I think James said, we're ranked like 23rd now, and they used to be 29th. So, yeah, no, the prospecting does not work for me because we have nobody to develop those prospects. Like, everybody was so excited about Joe Adele, and obviously now he's turned out like a piece of trash. So we should have traded Adele when we had the chance 2 years ago when everybody thought he was good. Now he's been in the field too long, and we're stuck with him. So there's that. And we should have never traded away Marsh. That was probably the worst idea anybody has ever had in their lifetime. But yeah, these prospect picks that we are, I don't know, I guess we accumulated, I just don't think it's going to pan out. And that's nothing personal. Like, I have no idea who that catcher is that we got from the Phillies. I'm sure he's a great kid. But I just know our development system, our coaching staff, we can't do it. Like, we just can't do it. We are not going to help that athlete as a team. We're not going to help that athlete just as a player individually for development. We can't do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like, we needed to build around this team. We need to do one thing or do the other, and we failed on both of those. And it's been such I guess a really bad day before the Vin Scully stuff to see that we didn't try to get better for this season or try to get into, I guess, a better spot. I mean, like, this team really took a step backwards big time, and now we're resting everything on Otani's plate.
We're resting everything on Otani's plate, and whether we like it or not, we can honestly not afford Otani. We cannot. It's like one of those, it's a love-hate thing where, like, if you love him, we have to let him go. Let that man go. Let him go. And trust me, I am the last person that wants to say that. I do not want to see Otani be in anything else but an Angels uniform.
Yeah.
But we cannot afford him. We just cannot. We are not one of those teams. As long as RD is still in control of the team, we will not be able to afford him at all. And what the moves that we did today by letting go of Iglesias and letting go of Syndergaard, what that only freed up, I think it was like $58 million maybe. Like, what's that measly $58 million going to do? You think that's going to keep Otani?
It's going to add to the $30 million that we're probably going to shed to with, the other guys. What it's going to do is it's going to take up half of that and leave the other half for surrounding players. So, yeah, I'm with you. It's not going to do much.
Like, it's not going to do anything, at least not for what Otani's worth, because Otani, like, basically almost every time he steps on that field, his market value is just going up and up and up.
Mm-hmm.
And he deserves it. He does. I'm not saying that he is in no way, shape, or form not deserving of that money, because he is. But we simply cannot afford him. Instead, we need to build the team around Trout like we were originally supposed to do, and get that man into the playoffs, or at least try to. Would I love to see Otani and Trout both in the playoffs in the Angels uniform? Of course I would. What are you talking about? Any Angel fan would. But we have to let go of one of them, and of course, in this instance, it's going to be Otani. We simply cannot afford it. We've already done too many shitty moves this year and past years to where we are paying people at this point to play against us. We're paying Upton $28 million to play against us on the Mariners.
Well, now he got DFA'd, so we're paying him $28 million to watch.
To sit at home.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
He's catching up on Netflix. Okay.
Oh, God damn it. No, I can't. I sit on my ass at home, and I don't get paid $28 million, so neither should he.
See?
I can't. This team is so frustrating. And I don't know. After today, I already lost hope. I lost hope for the season.
Mm-hmm.
I was already one of those. I'm waving the white flag. I don't care. I'm done. I'm over it. We'll try again next year. It's fine. Because I know one thing that we always said on the podcast last year was leave it up to the young guys.
Yeah.
Like, let the young guys play. You have to let the young guys play. It's fine. And now we kind of let the young guys play, but now we're letting the wrong young guys play. We should have kept Marsh. I don't care what anybody says. I would much rather pick Marsh any day over Joe Adell, especially me being an outfielder.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Adell takes the worst routes for tracking, for getting a ground ball.
You said that last year. I mean, I went to a game recently where he made 3 errors. So.
Yes. And again, this is my personal experience. I was an outfielder. I trained as an outfielder. That's all I did. That man takes the worst routes ever in my life. And now, fun fact, my boyfriend, as most people know, Nick, he is a Dodger fan, but he dabbles into some Angels baseball for me. We were watching an Angel game. I don't know which game it was. It was probably the most recent one where Adele fucked up in left field. Mm-hmm. And even Nick who is a football player, mind you. He's not even a baseball player. He is a football player. He even said it. He was like, that didn't look right. He was like, that looked like a wrong route. And I was like, because it was.
And you know what?
So,
you're absolutely right. If he did that in Fenway or something, I'd be like, okay, he didn't really know the stadium. That's his home stadium. Come on now.
This is his home field. That's his home field. I don't care. I don't know what they're doing in practice. And to me, again, it's one thing as a player to not know your home field. But again, it comes from management and stuff. What does our outfielders, what does Joe Adele need to work on? Perry should be having a meeting, or somebody in that head office should be having a meeting with these quote-unquote young players on what they need to work on in order to develop. Well, and we can't even get that.
And here's what I'll tell you real quick, Courtney, is when they used to do batting practice and when other teams do batting practice, you'll see some
We did batting practice?
We used to. But you notice when you go to the games early, you'll see pitchers jogging the warning track or whatever, but you'll see outfielders out there yakking it up, trying to catch foul balls from the hitting instructors who are throwing pitches to the batters, and they work on their skills. And so it's not only just batting practice, you're also out there as an outfielder, as an infielder, taking ground balls, getting the ground balls, getting the fly balls. That would have helped Joe Adele, but we didn't have that the last 2-3 years under Madden. Then as far as your point, as far as Marsh, I would have loved to have him stay, even though he was striking out like crazy. Okay, so you're not going to fix him this year because the coaches suck ass. But the next regime, I guarantee you, would have fixed his swing in spring training. I guarantee it. And we would have saw what Marsh is going to do for Philly now.
Yep.
But we won't see
and
that now.
And now we're a bag of flaming trash. It's fine.
I was waiting for the trash reference. You couldn't have gone this entire time without saying trash. Say it again. I don't want to interrupt you. There you go.
Trash. We are trash. And just for context, so I am down the street from our lovely Inland Empire 66ers. I've been going to those games more often than I've been going to Angels games. And our 66ers have been whipping everybody's ass, actually. Like, they've been winning games like 13-5, I think 15-8, like, they hit. And I mean, granted, I know it's single A. It's single A. I know. Trust me, I know. But at the end of the day, these guys are swinging. Let's just trade them. A full-on team trade. Bring the 66ers up. Angels got to go down. I'm sorry. Everybody. Everybody's got to learn how to swing again.
Well, I'm pretty sure we could work some more walks with these guys. They might not win as many games, but I think they'll give more heart. This team is lacking huge amounts of that. So.
Oh, dude, it looks like nobody even wants to play when they walk on the field. First of all, they walk on the field. Mm-hmm. Secondly, even when they're on the field, it just looks like nobody wants to play. Everybody looks depressed, defeated already. It looks sad.
Exactly. Real quick, Courtney, can we announce it? Can we just say a little spoiler alert that you're going to be on the podcast on Sunday?
Yes, I'm coming back.
Yay! All right. So, Courtney, after a long hiatus, will be back on with me and Fernando. So be sure to check that out.
Of course. Bye, guys. Have a good night.
You too. All right, that was Courtney checking in right now. The 1989 All-Star game that he called with Bo Jackson leading off a home run was great, Anthony says. James says, I think the Padres and Dodgers on Friday night before the game should be emotional. It should be. It's going to be pretty crazy. EQ is going back and forth here. Bring back Jared Weaver for the hell of it. Todd's replacement for Vin. Hell no, dude. Don't even put me that close. No way. Trade Otani for Vin. Randy's house. Oh, God. Trade Otani for some Mountain Dew. Let's see. Where Cookie dried up. Yeah, that was a pretty crazy comment right there. Let's get to some of these more right here. Jacob said, oh, God. Let's see. I will hold you by one hand and throw you to the trash by the nachos that Paul Sereno is eating. So we're going back and forth here, EQ right now. Randy's loving the pussy drying up comment. I was surprised we got a good catcher, but then I forgot we have a shitty development system, Dylan says. Boy, that's 100% correct. Karina says, let's see, we can't afford him. We can, Karina, but we'd have to really raise that budget, and I don't think our manager or our owner will. How can we afford Otani if we're spending so much on Rendon and Trout? Yeah, exactly. You're going to be top heavy with players. Let Otani go to keep the interpreter. He did a pretty good job holding back players that are catcher. Randy says, I can't wait to say I told you so again. That's actually been fun all this year. Anthony says, high fly ball to right. She is gone. Yeah, that was the most iconic one as you saw the brake lights in the distance of Dodger fans realizing, oh, crap, we left too early. Jeez, they're going back with the Mountain Dew thing. Let's see, him and EQ. Abraham says, Trout on his bed eating chips and watching all the trades, talking shit from him and Otani like remember my Gold Gloves days. Exactly. We should have extended him before 2021. Exactly, Dylan. I think Artie Moreno should sell the team. And you know what? We're going to have some sell the team T-shirts coming out here pretty soon. Let's see. Also, boy, they're going back and forth. It's crazy. Adele is trash. Anthony Gonzalez says Adele sucks and has to leave the team. Adele is the reason why all the women in the stands suffer from dry pussy syndrome. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. We should have gotten a wide receiver to be in the outfield. Exactly. Man, what happened? EQ and Mountain Dew King are just going back and forth. God damn. If we were the owner, GM for sure, but since Artie and Perry have those positions, no way it will happen in hell right there. Matt Padingo's calling it. And let's see. Oh, man. Jacob's even getting involved now. Jeez, that's a problem, man. We're going too much on everybody right now. We got so much to talk about, and you guys would rather call each other inflammatory names. Opening day, watched Adele make a play at the plate in the left field. Adele throws a ball into the visitor's dugout. Let's see. Also, let's see. Yeah, you see him at the tailgate. AA, AAA is great. Pitching and defense has been pretty good down there in the offense. Special guest referee right now, Randy, is saying. Let's see. I remember that. Oh, yeah, they're talking about Adele's play right there. Let's see. And then Mountain Dew saying, I got a jet ski, so don't worry about that. Oh, I got one. Jolie Galloway was traded to the Dodgers. Vin died. How convenient. Dude, I'm telling you, strikeouts are going to be a coming with that lineup. Dodgers have Max Muncy, Taylor, Bellinger, and now Gallo, and those are four guys hitting at 200 or below with 1 billion strikeouts. Why can't we trade coaches? Yvette says, boy, I would love that. Let's see. EQ says, what's the number? Just don't go with all the references, the homophobic ones. We'll try to lay off that because I don't want to piss anybody off. But 714-598-3221. Why not? Why the fuck not? Because the commissioner will veto some ownership stuff and also coaches. Let's see. Carpenters build a stadium. Let's see. Also, I love how fast we were ready to buy our tickets for the playoffs in April and May. And now look where we're at right now. It's the Halo Honk line.
Oh, this is Todd.
This is Todd.
I was just wondering why the fuck we trade Noah Syndergaard for a piece of chips.
Is it
what the fuck?
Who is this, by the way?
I don't know.
You don't know?
It's James.
Oh, it's who? James?
That's my middle name.
Oh, okay. Well, look, whatever. Look, all I'm saying is this team traded for a catcher at least. We got a catcher out of it. Not with Syndergaard, but we got an outfielder maybe. So, I don't know.
Yeah. I just know the development sucks, and how the hell they're like ranked high enough for oh, we're excited. Then they're gonna get screwed over by our development. It's like, oh, you guys are doing great in this team. Nah, we're gonna fix it. You need to do terrible to be in this franchise. Come on, boys, get together.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's
gonna happen.
look, we don't have, like right now with the coaching staff, we don't preach any kind of winning mentality. We don't try to work on things, bad habits. We don't try to change. It's like, well, we did the same thing yesterday. Let's do the same thing tomorrow. And I'll just say real quick, I talked to my dad. My dad's like, how did we go from April and May looking so good to how we are now? And I said, it's easy, Dad. You don't follow scouting reports. This is like football. In the first 4 weeks, if you're playing one way, teams will adjust to you as the season goes along. So just like baseball, teams will adjust to you. It's your job to adjust to them and make the adjustments to get better as they adjust to you. It's a game of adjustments.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
this team does not do
I
it.
just think, this team is usually trashed in April or beginning of the opening season. They do bad. Then I know where they finally get some fire or something, some lively in the summertime, and they may be like 8 or 5 games back from the wild card, then shit hits the fan in September because Trout sucks in September. By the way, if anyone says otherwise, they're freaking stupid. Go to home and freaking do your research. Facts. Anyway, it's like why we don't have that. I think that's the curse. I think the baseball guys are like, oh, you guys are Bengals doing good in the beginning. Oh, we got to change that. No, they're not. That's not how they work. They got to suck right away. No, we're gonna pretty much get caught up to them. They're good luck in the beginning, then just boom, nope, back to reality. That's how it happened. I think that's how it is. It's like, that's what happened.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a lot of changes, bro. The culture on this team, everything needs to change. Everything needs to change.
Dumpster fire. Literally, I thought last year was a dumpster fire. At least we were competing on ourselves. Who could get to 500? Are we going to get back to 500 in 2 days or tomorrow?
Yeah.
We'll never know. But this one is like, we know we can't get back to 500. It's going to be impossible. It's going to be 20 games below 500, 100%.
We'd have to go on a Seattle Mariners run, win 14 in a row, and we're still under 500. So,
yep.
But this is literally the most.
Are we going to tank or try to retool? No, we can't. Baseball doesn't work like that. You need it. But obviously, the MLB and their remember that during the negotiation during the off season or the lockdown, they were trying to say these crappy teams, the Baltimore Orioles or the Pirates, can't tank like this because it's not fun for baseball. But they're realizing they're being smart in the future, and they're getting all these high-end prospects on number 1 picks or number top 5 picks because they sucked past many years, and they're reaping the rewards later on. Just like the Astros and the Padres and or whatever teams who are finally good out of the blue. Well, that's what they did. They tanked.
Those two teams that you just mentioned, the Astros and Padres, they sucked for a number of years, like you said. But not only did they get good, they held on to their players or they made the trades and they maintained. Some of these small market teams like the Royals, they sucked for years, got good, had their little 3-4 year run, and then they suck again. So I don't want to be that team. If we're going to suck, I would rather be a team like the Astros or the Padres. Get a good winning culture together and ride it out. Have a core player, keep adding to it, and do that. Maintain what you've worked for. And if that were the case, think about it. If they were to have tanked after 2015 for about 3 or 4 years, imagine where this franchise would be had they done things right, scouted things right. This team would be they'd be a playoff contender, but they're not. We're still stuck in neutral.
I think it's obviously, like you said, you always preach it on the channel or on the page. It's the owner. It's the owner. Obviously, it's the owner. It's like, okay, I don't care. Yeah, he had a winning record during 2009 or all those years when we won our divisions and went to the playoffs, but we choked. But like, at least you gave fans like, oh, at least we made the playoffs. But like, no, and then you got greedy with his, then we eventually drafted the once-a-generation talent Trout, and things are going to be great and filled seats. No, it went bad. It went terrible. I don't know what happened. I think, like, 2002, it feels like that was a fluke because there were no names. There were no big names whatsoever, really. If you think about it, it's like
Well, think
Yeah,
about
like
this.
you got Barry Bonds when we defeated Barry Bonds in 2002, and it's like that was the only big name we really faced, except Derek Jeter and the Yankees, and that was it.
But
we were misfits.
But think about this though. The Nationals could be that misfit team again, with all the players they've incurred, all the players they've got in their freaking farm system. What if they put together a run the next few years, add some pieces? They could turn into a team like that.
Yeah.
We've seen teams
Yeah,
just come out of the blue.
Yeah, surprisingly, when you win a World Series, and surprisingly the owner is like, you know what, these guys want big money. We're just gonna. That's how it is. That's how they think. You know, like when you win a championship, the players are gonna like, we want a big boatload of money. That's how it is. You know, it's like because they got greedy and they just eventually let them walk free agency or trade them, and they just tank after that. Like right out, like when Bryce Harper left. I'm talking about the Nationals here. The Nationals literally gave up 5 of their franchise pieces. Harper, you got Rendon. Obviously Rendon was a mistake. But during that time, we thought we were going to get 2019 or 18 Rendon, who was like playing almost won MVP in the NL, but was second, I believe, in voting. But we thought we were going to get him. No, don't put your money in your. You gotta say, is he going to repeat it? If not, we're going to just give him less years and maybe a little bit more money. But like, you don't want to have a big freaking contract, and it's like we're going to be stuck with him. I thought we were going to learn a lesson from Pujols. No, we did not.
Nope. We went right down the same road.
Did not. Nope.
Exactly. Well, good call. Good call, my man. Call in again if your name is James. All right, bro. Have a good one, man. Thanks for listening. All right, there he is right there. Halo Realm says 6 games at the end of this August is my goal. We are 10 games out as we speak. It could happen. Let's see. How do I call the hotline? It is 714-598-3221. Abraham says, I say we trade Adele and Stassi for some amazing gift cards and postcards. Maybe some 50 cents off Shake and Bake as well. Let's see. Also, let's see. Randy says, use your phone. That's what I use. Oh, my God. Let's see. What's the number? There you go right there. Monkey Man would fling shit at him. Rally Chris is getting drunk on Mountain Dew, EQ says. Let's see. Yeah, Baja Blast style EQ. What's the number again? Just gave it out. Let's see. There we go right now. The season is over. It's the Halo Hotline.
Hi, is this Todd Fox?
This is me.
How's it going? I'm calling from the Hilltopper Cream Pies.
The Hilltop of what?
Cream Pies.
Cream Pies. Is that the name of your high? Is that the name of your high school?
It is. I used to drive my bike all the way down from Catella.
Did you get a cream pie on your face as you were riding down Catella?
I sure did, but only when Otani batted.
Oh, Otani. I love that guy. Nothing gives me a chubby more than Shohei Otani. Well, John Stamos. I'll give him that.
Hey, Todd, quick question, bud. What do you think that with today's trade, especially for that catcher, do you think there's any almost kind of like what I'm trying to say is, do you think Perry is trying to say, you know what, we're going to suck these next couple of years, but let's develop this young catcher with Kai Bush and Sam Bachman and all the pitching prospects down there? I know the Dodgers did something similar with Will Smith and Walker Buehler and those guys. Do you think there's any truth to that, where they're just kind of saying, hey, let's just suck for the next couple of years?
No, if it was we're going to suck for the next couple of years, Otani would be gone. I think getting that catcher is realizing by Perry, hey, we don't have a catcher in our organization. Wallach and basically Theis are all you have. You got nothing coming through the pipeline, no rookies. They just drafted a catcher, but who knows how good he's going to be. Literally, this guy's a stud, and he's gonna come up sooner than later. So, but I do like your idea of him working with Bush and Bachman and Braden Olthoff and a few other pitchers that are down there that are tearing it up right now. So I do like that. Maybe he's getting used to those guys and the chemistry will work, and maybe they all come up together. So I do like that. But as far as them saying we're going to suck on the major league roster and up here, I think that would have only happened if they just said, hey, you know what, fuck it, we're not going to take it. Otani's going to have to go. And if they would have did what the Nationals did, I still would be all on board today. I would be super happy, but sad that we're losing Otani. Obviously, you don't want to lose that dude because he's an 18 to 20 game winner, 40 to 50 game home run hitter. But what else you got around him if you can't depend on Trout being healthy and you can't depend on Rendon being healthy?
Yeah, I agree. I also think there's got to be some rift between Perry and Artie over there. I don't know if you looked at all the numbers, but every time Shohei comes to town, whether it's Miami or Atlanta or anywhere, it's like he sells out everything, you know? So I'm sure he's over there counting his big bucks. But that's definitely frustrating.
That's the only reason why Artie wants him, because he knows, like, look, as much as everyone loves Trout, he's famous in America, but he's not famous internationally. You can argue that, but you put him up against Otani. Otani's a rock star. Mike Trout's opening up. If you were making like bands, Mike Trout would be like the opening act in a worldwide concert, and Otani would be the headliner. And that's what you got. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. The TV revenue's up because of Otani. The sales are up because of Otani. The tickets, everything, merchandise. He goes, we lose our identity.
Yeah, you're right about that. But anyways, thanks for taking my call, Todd. I appreciate it. Even though this team sucks now, go Halos, baby.
There you go, man. And is it going to be fun when they actually start winning again? It'll be fun to talk about them.
I hope it's sometime soon, though.
Me too. Wishful thinking. But all right, man. Have a good night.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
All right, there's another call right there. Let's see. Kyle Strange says this guy's a clown. Todd must be taking an edible. Todd must have taken. Why? What did I do? What did I do right now? Right? Oh, God, always killing me sometimes here. Ice cream. Well, I cream pie on my wife all the time. Well, there you go. Let's see. Gee, they're still going back and forth, even with Grillmaster. Let's see. Randy's boy. This show's gone off the rails. Pussy. Oh man, I'm sorry, Mountain Dew and everybody else that's taking bullets tonight, because you guys are firing in right now. What's the last four of the hotline? That would be 3221. So 714-598-3221. Let's see. Now they're sacrificing Hammer to Artie now. Yeah, we should leak Artie's address. Well, I'm sure you could look it up. I think you really could. Let's see. Okay, so if Todd Lodge gets the record for home runs this year if Judge gets the record for home runs this year, will he be AL MVP? I'm pretty sure he would. He's matched Barry Bonds to this point, so he's an excellent look. The Yankees, I didn't even talk about the Yankees. They got Montas and Trevino. Those are two good players. You got rid of a strikeout king in Gallo. The Yankees, I think, are second in winners today in the trade deadline, and they're already stacked. Again, I brought it up earlier. It's the Yankees, the Braves, the Mets, the Padres, the Dodgers, the Cardinals, the Brewers. You got some serious good baseball teams, plus the entire American League East and the Houston Astros still left in this crazy playoff run and hunt, with a few outside teams looking in. But basically, the teams are going to make it from the American League and the National League. Whoever wins this year's World Series, God forbid it's the Dodgers, will have earned this World Series. It won't be a bubble ring like in 2020, and we can make fun of the Dodgers for years to come when it comes to that. Although we're in mourning for them tonight. But as far as all the other teams they're going to have to battle each other to get to the World Series, I mean, whoever wins the World Series this year, they are for sure earning it. You cannot take away their World Series ring unless they do some sort of massive cheating that we don't know about, that we'll find about later. But if none of that happens, I'm telling you, even the Astros will have earned their World Series ring because they've gone through the ringer. This is going to be an excellent postseason, in my opinion. And it just sucks that the Angels won't be there. Let's see. Thanks. I'll try to call in tomorrow to the show. Yeah, Matt Bedingo, call in for sure. I'd love to have you on the show. Artie's home is the one that is empty, whiskey bottles all out in front. Can we trade some of the dirt in the infield for some cash to sign some players? I'd take anything at this point. I'd take a bubble ring at this point, Randy says. Exactly. Mountain Dew says, go Padres. I would have taken a bubble ring too as well. Abraham says, I just hope it's not Yankees and Dodgers. Yes, Halo Realm. Please. I think that's worst case scenario. Worst case scenario right there. It would be the Yankees and Dodgers. To be honest with you right now, I would not mind the Atlanta Braves repeating. I'd like to see the Brewers get a World Series ring. I would like to see Tampa Bay or Toronto shock the world. Minnesota's not going to do shit. Let's not even consider them, nor the White Sox. I would take the Houston Astros at this point, just not the Dodgers. The Padres, I'd love to see win a World Series. Cardinals, not so much. I'm kind of tired of them. And in the East, the Mets, I think just to rub it in the Yankees' face, I wouldn't mind the Mets winning a World Series. Mountain Dew King said, let's trade EK for something else. Good grief. Let's see. Start banging trash cans harder when Wilson does his. Oh my God! Y'all remember when both New York teams and the LA teams were on top of baseball? Yes, Abraham. Way back in April and May, we had a lot of that. Boy, it's been a crazy show. I know this show was going to be, a long one because of everything that happened tonight. Again, thoughts on Vin Scully, thoughts and prayers to his family. He lived a long, wonderful life, 94. One of those guys you really can't talk any shit about. Never really had anything bad that it came out in the media. So again, what a great, beautiful career he had. And also a legend that touched so many. And really, you're going to hear a lot of tributes from a lot of announcers around the league because a lot of them were inspired by him. And no doubt, you saw the same thing that happened with Chick Hearn here. A lot of announcers got into the game and into the business because of him. So, yes, paying very much tribute to Vin Scully. And even little podcasters like myself owe a little something to him for being on the radio and doing his thing, because radio led to podcasting and doing all the shit that we're doing today and being able to say the stuff that we're able to say. With that being said too, the Angels trades, boy, those were tough to swallow today, and it's going to be tough to swallow the rest of this team the rest of the season. So if you're going to be there and watching the Angels, kudos to you. If you're going to be participating with us, we're not going anywhere. Again, I got a Marsh jersey to give away. City Connect, and again, I'll play I made a little video for you on how you can participate in winning that jersey free of fucking charge from us here at Halos in the Infield. It's a XXX, so if you can't quite fit it, well, maybe someone can. Free. It can get you something. Hell, you can sell it. I don't give a fuck. It's a free jersey. It's a Brandon Marsh jersey. He's gone now, but it was a promotional jersey, and it's really, really cool. So hopefully you guys can pay attention to how you can win that jersey and give it to someone that you love, or keep it for yourself and be greedy, or sell it just to make a buck and pay for some gas. Let's see. Also, let's get to a few last one of these comments. Mountain Dew King says the Padres or Seattle would be cool. Let's see. I'd like to see the Orioles win it all, but I doubt that will happen. Matt Bedingo says, I will buy another patch hat for a fan of Todd if the Dodgers lose in the playoffs. There you go, EQ. Let's see. Visit my page for $5 for our hat raffles. Yeah, check out Halo Realm. Let's see. Grill Master's on there. Don't upset Grill Master. He's trying not to cry. Come on, you're all good, Grill Master. Calm down. You're cool. Let's see. Also, I think about all of us Angel fans need long sessions of therapy when the Angels win the World Series. Dude, if they win the World Series, it will be an amazement for me. I can't even picture it right now. It's been such a huge thing. Matt Grillmaster saying die. Oh my God. Let's see. Also, a few more here. How about you send that jersey to Artie with a death note attached? Also, Marty says, instead of firing Madden and trading players, fire the hitting and pitching coaches. Boy, 100% to you right there, Marty. I can't agree with you more. Let's see. EQ says he loves Randy. Let's see. I'll switch to say Walsh with some duct tape. Down. There you go. No Seattle. I couldn't stand another call from Leaf. Martin says, jeez, here we go again. All right. So with that being said, long show. You guys, can't we just have a show where y'all get along? Fuck.